as sort of like a third or tertiary consequence. But I think like these should be your starting point. What am I curious about? What am I good at? And do I have enough space, even if it's weekends? Do you have time on the weekends to focus on this? Do you have, a few hours out of the day? Are you willing to take a nap and wake up and put in work? So once you have this, then you can go down this journey, right?
Hey, what up, fam? This is Saul Levy, host of Africans in Tech, where we're building bridges and shaping futures in tech. On our pod today, we got Joyce Jones. She's going to be doing a whiteboard session. She's going to ready to kill it, and she's going to be talking about the future of work. If you've not watched the actual sit-down interview, go check it out. Really, she dropped a lot of good gems, and especially for those who are looking to get either in the tech sector, any sector really, and you're looking to find ways to navigate into those fields. So definitely go check that out. But yeah, check out this episode. Well, Joyce, off to you.
Nice, thank you. So I am always a geek for a whiteboard session. So what we'll talk about is the future of work, mainly from two different perspectives, talent and work. And the reason why I said work and not employer, because I think people should just sort of reframe and reshuffle their mindset around work. Work for us is the exchange between work and worker, and how quickly those relationships can be built, aligned, and continue to sustain themselves. I'm going to just say that, we're going to start with talent. Talent for us are job seekers, learners, folks who are trying to increase their economic mobility, whether it's through making more money, increasing their skill set, building their resume, or just, and not just from a business standpoint, but just talent. You just have people that are builders and innovators, and we want them to have a place to go and to be able to hone those skills in places. And so I'm going to talk about how talent gets to parity. Parity is the way I put it here from an economic standpoint, more economic mobility, but also I think we should just put sort of just I'm going to just put posturing, actually, no. I'm going to put top 1%. These are very different. And top 1%, I just mean that you've worked so well over time that you've reached a level of skill set where people from wherever can see you as a thought leader in this space. But I also want to say that's a spectrum. I do not believe that everyone should try to seek that if that's not their goal. But I do believe that everyone should try to seek parity in some way, shape, or form.
Gotcha.
So, okay. And then the second thing we'll talk about, let me get another.
I can give you this too.
Okay, thanks. The second thing we'll talk about is work. How is work being done? How is our GDP being increased? Gross domestic product, even real gross GDP that accounts for inflation. When I think about work and when we think about work at Vower, we think about all aspects of work, from the event service that needs folks to pull up on the weekend to an SAP enterprise company. We think about it from a lens of entry-level work, how fast we can accelerate people into completing and actually perfecting a skill from that work.
Okay.
What I want to, the POV here, our user here is a non-employer though. This is your startup. This is your entrepreneur. This is your restaurant worker, podcast entrepreneur who has something great building, but they're not necessarily ready to have a W-2 employee, which is a lot of us, right? The W-2 employee comes with standard, I would say, you have to make sure you're paying them the minimum wage and then some, maybe benefits. So we're going to just use the user as a non-employer, and then the talent let's just say ages from 16 to 40, which is a wide span. I just say talent is for us entry level, someone who's starting or restarting. Okay. So if you are a talented person and you are trying to seek parity for yourself, whether that's economic mobility, reaching top 1% of your field, or somewhere in between, here are some of the top things that I implore you, I actually am begging you to do. Okay. The first thing is you need to first understand, what are you good at? Not necessarily your hobby, what you like to do, but what are you actually good at? Okay. So once you sort of do that reflection point, and guess what? Our 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds may not know what they're good at, but I think that they have some inclinations of what they are curious. And so following the curiosity, sort of get a list for yourself of things that you want to learn. What are you curious about? That's a great start. I'm always going to start on curiosity because I think curiosity is just a great indicator of what you may be good at because you're curious about it, right? What are you curious about? What skill sets do you already have? If it's retail, restaurant, sales, if you're academic, if you're good at if you're a gamer, that's a really great skill. If you like content creation, if you like looking at data all day, sort of what are you good at? What are you curious about and what are you good at? This is sort of like the thought process you need to start before you can reach parity. What are you curious about? What are you good at? And what is your utility of space? Utility of space is sort of a word that we use to say, how much space do I have to break things before like going broke or like unemployed? Like utility of space is very luxurious, right? It's more so saying like, I want to intern for this company and they're not going to pay me as much, but I have enough utility of space to take that risk.
Gotcha.
So I think everyone, and you can just use this as risk. How much risk do you have in relation to how far it's going to take you? A lot of people, if you don't have enough space for risk, you'll end up kind of just going for what's available, like what will pay you the highest price. You're not necessarily as curious or figuring out if you're good at. So I really hate that if these feel very, muddled towards like folks who already have a little privilege. That's not what I'm saying. I think you can be curious about things, good at things, and then find that utility of space as sort of like a third or tertiary consequence. But I think like these should be your starting point. What am I curious about? What am I good at? And do I have enough space, even if it's weekends? Do you have time on the weekends to focus on this? Do you have, a few hours out of the day? Are you willing to take a nap and wake up and put in the work? So once you have this, then you can go down this journey, right? What I want you to do is find an internship or find an opportunity, whether it's volunteer internship, to work out if what I'm curious and good at has some market value. Internships will always help you to understand if what you're good at and curious has market value. Market value just means, are people willing to pay in the real world for this skill set? Okay? So that can be anything from, if you're good at content, that's a really good thing. If you know how to edit videos, create content and put it out there, create schedules for companies, workers are looking for that. If you know how to read data analytics and you can code and you can put up a landing page and you can set up an acuity schedule for your friends in high school, if you are good at gaming and you can build a community around gaming, if you are, everything from, if you're a good braider, if you know how to do lashes, I'm talking about real deal. If you like to tinker around the house and we can get you into construction or plumbing or something, those are things that you're both maybe good at and then maybe curious about. Can you make money from it? And then is there market value? How do you know if it's market value? It's because people are willing to pay, they're willing to hire, and they're willing to train. These are indicators of market value. Are they willing to pay for it? Are they willing to hire you for it? Are we willing to train on it? Okay. So we're still on the talent. Let's just say the talent's name. I like to give folks names. Madison.
And the utility of risk, just utility of space.
Yeah.
Is that generally, and I could be oversimplifying it, is that generally inverse for that age group? Because I'm assuming if you're older, you probably have responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
If you're younger, you probably don't. So
Yep.
your leeway in
Great.
terms of risk, it's probably inverse compared to somebody who's young.
Yep, that's great. Typically, that utility space does dwindle as you bring on more responsibilities.
Right.
I hate to say that it is necessarily synonymous with age, but typically that is the case, right? As you get older, you will have more responsibilities.
Yep.
You can take less risk.
Yep.
And that's why we focus on the future of work and mostly entry level. But you will find that folks who already have skill and are older can actually move faster than a lot of the young people because they have the skill set.
Yep.
And they can reach parity or top 1% faster, especially if it's something that they're curious in and just didn't choose it. So when we talk about teachers, when we talk about people who were sports folks, kind of built that acumen, they actually are really well primed to go back into the workforce with something and move faster and accelerate than the younger people.
Yeah.
So it's just about how you assess the risk. Just assess the risk based on where you are. But of course, you don't have kids, you don't have a family, you can kind of go and break stuff and not really be a problem. So that's why it's really great. And we love to focus on Gen Z and millennials because that will represent most of 50% of the workforce.
Yeah. And then being older too, like you generally have curated some skills, so you'll probably be ahead of the game, like you mentioned.
Yep. So look for internships, volunteer opportunities. Apprenticeships, I think I can say that here. I would say building in real life has helped. IRL. Because you'll have probably lower pay in internships and apprenticeships, but you'll get great skill set and you'll get a lot of people to be able to let you kind of do what you want to do. And then you'll use that to actually build your resume. Proximity, which is like literally the number one indicator for you to reach parity, is how close can you get to new jobs or new opportunities. So resume, proximity, and actually just like the skill set that you'll need. Okay. So if I was a young or 16 through 40, very curious, I'm good at several different things, I will be picking up internships, volunteer opportunities, building in real life. Really, like, if you think about just literally folks like God is Dope and how he started interning and just like pulling up to different vendor places, working for different sort of hip hop affiliated markets as intern. Building that market value, getting his name out there, and then you're ready, and then bam, your company shoots off. That's just like one example. But Madison, who's curious, good at marketing, has some utility of space as a college student, she's gonna pick up an internship. As she's doing that, hopefully she has more time to build in real life. Has her LinkedIn page, her TikTok page, volunteer opportunities, and this is where I would say, maybe takes like a few years. People don't want to hear that because they like microwave grits, and we're talking about you need a slow grit. You know, it takes a lot of time. People are not willing to pay the time and cost associated with true mastery. But if you want to reach high parity and top 1%, you have to have market value, and you only get that through having skill sets that most people don't have or are not willing to acquire through this sort of risk analysis and sort of doing the work.
Makes sense.
For the worker and the non-employer, please, 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 you can build multi-million-dollar companies if you understand how to hire interns and apprentices, because they have lower risk because they don't have families. They don't have anyone to feed.
Yeah.
When we were doing internships at a time, we didn't get paid at all. We were just happy to get an internship. When I was at Emory and doctors was giving me internships, if I dared to ask for money, they'd be like, we have hundreds of other applicants that would love to be here. Come on now.
Yeah.
So I think we have to go back into that mindset and understand that the skill sets that you're going to offer them, that's going to build their actual resume and proximity and get them closer to parity, is that trade-off.
Yeah.
So you need to be trying to hire interns like it's your daily job.
Yeah.
Most top CEOs, their job is not running the company, is hiring and finding the best talent. You become a talent savant. You need to just think about talent all day. Who can I get on this team? Who can I call, convince to come and work on this project so we can light speed our way to scale and what I would like to call default alive. That means that our expenses do not exceed our revenue, and we're able to just pay for what we need because we've reached scale and we're default alive. By default, our company is alive.
Gotcha.
What I would always suggest and what we've done is you find internships, you find interns, and it's not low skill workers. It's like skill sets are always changing. You have to transition from founder to CEO very quickly. And that's you're not in the weeds anymore. You are empowering highly skilled, talented, helping them to understand what the North Star is, getting out the way and just giving them the resources that they need to reach it.
Gotcha.
You become Phil Jackson of the 90s Bulls. Okay? Here's Jerry Krause, here's Michael, here's Rodman, here's Pippen. And you are the yogi.
So I think that's sometimes easier said than done from a management standpoint.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a technical person, right? Or you're good at what you're doing, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of getting out the way.
Yeah.
What has been like your experience like to kind of get out the way and let others kind of do?
Yeah, I mean, you have to. You literally cannot do all the work. I definitely believe like having a system that you've built, like building those POSs. Like what I like to do is like sometimes when I'm doing work, I'd be like, oh, can I delegate this?
Yeah.
And I just like, what's the steps that I'm taking to know that this can be automated or delegated? Always be thinking as a non-employer, what can be delegated and automated?
Okay.
I want to automate myself out of my job. I don't even want to,
So we didn't talk about this on the sit down, but from an AI standpoint, do you use AI agents within your?
When they talk about skill debt, I was like, oh man, I use it too much.
Okay.
Because I've always been bootstrapped and doing 5 jobs. I'm now doing, with my AI agent, we're doing 10 jobs.
Nice.
And you become so coddled and spoiled with how well you know how to use AI agents to automate work and to kind of think through the deeper analysis. But we have to be careful though, because there is a skill erosion that happens when you depend on it too much. So what I would say is just like, use it to automate systems that are already there. And then the AI just enhances that, but it should be a symbiotic relationship for sure.
So that's a really great point, because even from an engineering standpoint, that's also something that's happening now. There's, I don't know how to put it. There's a attrition in terms of like the ability to think a little bit. And a lot of people are depending on like the, whether you use Copilot or ChatGPT, whatever it is that you're using. Like a lot of these models are now like being like the brains for individuals. How do you combat that?
They say by 2028 we'll have about a 40% folks using AI as an everyday life that will have some skill erosion, irreversible skill debt that if we don't be cognizant of it, because we are both using the AI without using the human agency as a premium.
Right. Yep.
And if you just get rid of humans, first of all, then the AIs will be training on themselves and it won't work. This is habit forming of you don't have any new data or human agency or intellect to help it. But also you'll have folks who are now not having that human interaction to just think like a human, in which we need in order to continue to like align ourselves. And so what I do, and I'm still learning, I'm still trying to figure out, because I'm just like a kid in a candy store. Folks who've been building with doing more with less, it's like, oh man, I can't even believe it.
Right.
But you have to say to yourself, well, the skill sets that's a trade-off for speed. Are they the skill sets that are I'm not gonna reach top 1%. So I just think it's just about having some discipline around it and just continue to be a student of whatever you're doing. But for the manual, the tasks that are just like, give it to the AI.
No, I think this makes a lot of sense, because Chris, we were talking about that, was it yesterday? Talking about like just how you got into like content creation, and you're like, oh yeah, I can build this now with AI. I never thought I could do this. And then I'm thinking about writing an autobiography, which generally takes like months, right? There are people that have written autobiographies in like weeks, just because they'll spit something out, AI will interpret it, create chapters and all that other jazz. But going back to like your parity percentage, it's like you still have to have the skill sets. Like otherwise, what differentiates you from another person that's using AI? And I think that's what I always try to preach, and I think a lot of us that have been on the pod, both guests and myself, is it's good to have AI, but don't default to it, because you don't separate yourself at that point in time, and another person that can use AI to up level, but then also understands the baseline of how things are supposed to work, they're going to outperform you and then also be a lot more valuable than you in the space. So I'm watching you write a bunch of things. I'm going to, you're probably going to explain it in just a second anyway.
So it's our prediction that we'll have more 2 to 10, 2 to 5, 2 to 3 person $1 million teams. It's our belief at Vower, the way that they'll do that is they'll hire very talented entry-level folks, match them hopefully with AI so that they can move fast and continue that iteration learning process. So it's like already starting from the onset with this symbiotic relationships with AI agents, not replacing humans at all. Gotcha. Human interaction will become a premium, but it will never replace a human, because again, you just think about what AI is and what it's supposed to do. It's learning. After a while, it's going to learn from itself. Right. And there will be this sort of like blockage of how far we can go with AI. You need to keep humans within the mix at all times. But non-employers, these are folks that are like somewhat using Fiverr, somewhat using Upwork, somewhat using LinkedIn and Indeed and Snag a Job and these other boards. Vower definitely. But you don't have the revenue to pay full-time workers, and this is most minority companies or our non-employers, right? You need to. I don't even think folks are serious about their business until they have multiple people on there. Gotcha. Because it's just like, you're a solopreneur.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? I hate when people try to say everyone has to try to reach top million. No. You may be okay with just like providing for your family, having a nice few vacation years, and that's okay. Like literally we need to make that more normal. Right. But what I'm trying to say is that there is an overload of talent. So it's an employer's market right now. There's an overload of work to be done. There's an overload of workers, job seekers, and less work to be done. I don't actually think it's less. I just think it's so many non-employers on the sideline thinking, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, and they have not yet made that jump from founder to CEO.
Gotcha.
CEO focus on talent, building the talent up to reach the North Star. Founders are doing the work every single day, doing everything, running themselves crazy.
Yeah.
If you want to go from sustainability to scalability, you need to hire.
Yeah.
You need to hire. You need to know what the systems are, and you need to get people in there and empower them to reach your North Star. And you need to do that almost immediately.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
One last question. Are you versed in like AI, AGI, ASI? Like what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm actually, well, I don't know, maybe take this out, but I'm up right now for the AI board for the city of Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also just think it's just because we've had to use AI, but more so just because we've been helping companies and entrepreneurs use these skill sets as well as school systems to say, how can you integrate this into curriculum in order to help our youth and help folks who are entering the workforce be able to learn faster.
Gotcha.
And so I hope I answered your question by just saying, like, I'm a proponent because, again, scrappy entrepreneurs who need to do more with less, this is your way to parity. This is your way that you build some defensibility between you and the bigger guys.
Yeah.
You can literally move faster with your unique sort of network effects that you have that you've built on your own. Use AI to catapult you because it's literally the lowest cost leverage that you're going to have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's dope. All right. So folks wanted to, good job.
Thanks. Hey, write it down here. Please hire an intern. Please come through us or someone else. Hire an intern. They are hungry. They got a lot of energy for you. They're looking for something to do. Let them loose.
Okay.
You know, get you a good board, put that job out there. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know so many people want to work for my little raggedy company. Yes, they want to work for you. And they're looking for the skill sets because guess what? They can't get on LinkedIn with just nothing. They need to get the skill sets and do the job. Awesome. So you can find us at, this is an A, the Vower Inc. LinkedIn, Insta, TikTok. Which I love TikTok. Wait, you love TikTok?
I don't use it as much.
Chris, I know you don't because I went to follow you guys. Yeah. You got to use TikTok.
I know. Chris been telling me about it for a long time. I need to. Yeah.
I have not put a single ad dollar into our SAP. We have so many people from our SAP cohort from TikTok.
Nice. 2
videos.
Nice. Wow.
The algorithm, I don't know if you've seen the papers of the algorithm that they built.
Yeah. We got to get on it. My bad, man.
The algorithm that TikTok built.
Yeah. We got to get on it more. That's on me. But no, that's awesome. So Vower Inc. at Insta, LinkedIn, TikTok, and all of the things.
Yep.
Okay.
All of the things. Facebook. X.
Cool.
All of it.
Awesome. Well, Rejoice, thank you so much. You've done a fantastic job.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you did really good. So for anyone who needs to get in touch with her and, if for some reason you're missing what's on the board there, we'll have her socials wherever you're listening or watching this at. So Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, we're on there as well, and TikTok as well. So wherever you're listening to this pod, I will have that. So I want to say thank you all again for watching this. And Rejoice, fantastic job.
Thank you.
My name is Saul Levy. This is Africans in Tech. We're building bridges and shaping future in tech. All right, fam?